Hey, welcome! Today we are jumping into one of the most practical, life-changing chapters in the entire Bible, Romans 12. We're going to break down how what we believe is actually supposed to completely reshape how we live, day in and day out. So let's just start with this question, because it gets right to the heart of it. So many of us feel this disconnect, right, between what we say we believe and how we actually act. Well, Romans 12 is like a roadmap for closing that gap. It shows us what faith in action really looks like.
All right, let's dive in. First things first, we have to look at the foundation. Before we get to any of the how-tos, the chapter gives us this huge, profound why. This is the engine that drives everything else.
Okay, see that first word, therefore. It's so important. It means everything we're about to read is connected to the 11 chapters that came before it. So what does that mean? It means this transformed life isn't about us earning God's approval. No way. It's our response because we already have it, because of the incredible mercies of God that have already been poured out on us. Now, check out this phrase, reasonable service. It comes from a Greek word, logiken. Sound familiar? Yeah, it's where we get our word logical. The point is, offering your entire life, your whole self, to God isn't some wild emotional leap into the dark. When you really stop and think about His mercy, it's the most logical, rational response you could possibly have.
So, if we're supposed to be a living sacrifice, how do we actually do that every single day? Well, the next part of the chapter sets up this massive conflict, this tug of war between two powerful forces that are trying to shape us.
You see it right there? A negative command and a positive one. First, be not conformed. We have to actively resist the constant pressure from the world to squeeze us into its mold. But how? That's the second part, by being transformed. And where does that transformation start? It starts on the inside, in the one place the world can't get to unless we let it, our minds.
And this comparison is just perfect. To be conformed is like being pressed into a mold from the outside. But to be transformed, that's the Greek word metamorpheo, it's metamorphosis. Think of a caterpillar turning into a butterfly. It's not a change on the surface, it's a complete, radical change from the inside out.
So this massive internal change, well, it's not meant to happen in a vacuum. It completely revolutionizes how we relate to other people, especially within a community of faith. Man, this is such a powerful picture. We're not just a random collection of individuals. We are a single living body. We are completely interdependent. The eye can't say to the hand, I don't need you. It just doesn't work. What happens to one of us, for better or worse, affects all of us. And to make this body work, God gives out these amazing grace gifts. These aren't just natural talents, they are supernaturally empowered abilities designed to build everybody else up. And the incredible thing is, everybody has a role. Whether it's serving or teaching or showing mercy, every single gift is absolutely vital for the whole body to be healthy. Okay, so you've got all these different people, all these diverse gifts. How does the whole thing not just fly apart into chaos? Well, it all has to operate under one single, non-negotiable guiding principle. Without this, the body just can't function. And that principle is genuine love. But look closely. It has to be without dissimulation. That's a fancy way of saying without hypocrisy, without putting on a mask. It has to be real. And this isn't some flimsy, sentimental love. It has a strong moral backbone. It passionately hates what's evil and clings tightly to what's good. And from that foundation of real, authentic love, you get this rapid-fire list of what a transformed life actually looks like in practice. It's about genuine family affection, passionate service, hopeful patience, constant prayer, and an open home. This is the natural rhythm of a life that's been changed from the inside out. And now we get to the absolute peak of the chapter. These are the most countercultural, the most challenging, and let's be honest, the most supernatural instructions on how a changed person is supposed to live in a hostile world. Just let that sink in. This goes so far beyond just not retaliating. This is a command to actively want good things for people who are trying to harm you. That's incredibly hard. The fact that it's repeated, bless and curse not, shows just how radical this is. This is a response that is only possible with a power that comes from outside of ourselves. So why? Why are we commanded to do this? It's because we're being told to get out of the judge's chair. We have to give up our right to get even and hand the gavel over to the only one who can use it with perfect justice.
And this is the bedrock reason why we can let it go. We all know how bitterness and the need for revenge can just eat you alive. But trusting that God is the ultimate judge, that frees us from all that poison. We can let it go because we know with certainty that He will handle it.
So instead of revenge, we get a new game plan, a proactive, offensive strategy of radical kindness. This isn't about being a doormat. This is about using a powerful spiritual weapon. The Bible says this heaps coals of fire on His head, not to be cruel, but as an act of shocking grace that's designed to melt a hardened heart.
And there it is. That's the grand summary of our entire spiritual strategy. You don't fight evil on its own terms. You don't fight darkness by becoming dark yourself. You overcome evil by overwhelming it with the light of proactive goodness, grace, and love.
So, what's the big takeaway from all this? When you boil it all down, it's that real faith is a whole life response. The deep things we believe in our minds, our doctrine, must translate into our daily actions, our duty. Are you seeing that connection in your own life?
So, how can we start living this out, like right now? Well, we can consciously offer our day to God as worship. We can be intentional about what we're letting shape our thinking. We can look for one place to serve someone with our gifts. And maybe the most powerful thing we can do, pick one of these hard commands and just ask for the grace to obey it this week. And that leaves us with this final personal challenge. Just think about your own life, your own situations. What is one practical, proactive act of goodness you can use to overcome a moment of evil this week? Because the answer to that question, well, that's where the transformed life truly begins.